How are you all? I hope you had a wonderful holiday. I did. I'm really happy to be back. And right now, we are right in the middle of the hearings that are going on in Arizona. They just broke for lunch. So I'll give you an update. And if you don't know what these hearings are, these are hearings that the Trump's legal team is having in 3 different states. They had one Wednesday in Pennsylvania. They're having one today in Arizona, and there will be one tomorrow in Michigan. These hearings are to present witnesses and evidence of fraud to state legislators and lawmakers. And a lot of people are sort of making fun of these hearings. They're saying legislators don't have the power to do anything, and they're laughing because they're being held in hotels. Well, the legal team knows what they're doing, and there actually are things in the Constitution in case of fraud. So this is protected in the Constitution, and the legislators do have the power if they feel there is enough evidence to suggest fraud or to suggest that this was not a fair and free election. They can, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm still learning this, but they can call for a resolution and get their own electors if they feel like it has been certified fraudulently. So what is happening right now in Arizona? It got pretty interesting and a little weird in the middle of the day, and I'll tell you why. So as this hearing is going on, and what is happening in the hearing, I'll give you a bit of an update with that. So there's basically 3 pieces that are being presented on 3 different levels, and I'll get more detailed later on, but they're saying that there's a statistical piece, a mathematical piece to this where there are very big anomalies in the votes that came in. So there's that piece. There's the Dominion piece. We had an IT expert talking about Dominion and just how unsecure it is and how easy it is to switch votes over or to have fraud or to have people in other areas that have connections. So they're saying that these machines might have been connected to the internet, and they are showing evidence of this, and they are actually calling for a full forensic audit on the machines. So there's that piece. There's also the piece of you have poll workers saying there's voters that should not have been eligible to vote, and then you have ballots that they are claiming are illegitimate. So you have illegitimate ballots, you have the mathematical piece, the IT piece, and then you have people that were voting that might not have been able to vote. I'll show you a few of the things that were said throughout the day. This is from Michelle Malkin's Twitter account. If you follow her, she has a lot of really good coverage of what's been going on all day in the hearings, and she is there outside. There's about a few hundred people that are gathered outside where they're meeting in Arizona to protest Stop the Steal. So she says, this was said earlier today, and this was said by an IT expert that was talking about the vulnerability of the Dominion software. And he said that your vote is not as secure as your Venmo account, which is a little concerning. And then this was kind of cool. This was said earlier in the day by Giuliani. This was retweeted Michelle Malkin's account. I also follow this account as well. This is from Cat Turd. And if you ever questioned my credibility, I just want you to feel secure. I get my information from Cat Turd. So that is my source for this. Actually, this is a really funny Twitter account, and they say a lot of really good things. But Giuliani said earlier in the day, your political career is worth losing if you can save the right to vote in America. And he was basically talking to the legislators and lawmakers. You've seen a lot of cowardice over the past few weeks, seeing these officials get bullied and threatened for basically even just questioning the integrity of the election. And these aren't just people pulling questions out of their you-know-what. These are people that are listening to citizens coming forward and saying, hey, I saw something. Hundreds of citizens coming forward and saying, hey, I saw something. That is your duty as a politician to at least listen to it. Enough evidence is there and investigate. And it's funny because even when I talk about this stuff or bring it up, people say like, oh, get over it, Trump lost, or it's over, blah, blah, whatever. This is news and this is happening. And maybe you watch these hearings or maybe you listen to the testimonies and you don't believe what they're saying, or to you it's not a big deal, or to you it's not enough to say that there was fraud in this election, and that's fair, but you can't deny the fact that it is going on. And this is where it gets a little bit weird. These hearings are going on 2 miles down the street This happened. I don't know how to say his name. Doug Ducey. Today we signed the canvas for the 2020 election in Arizona. I'm grateful to the voters, the county election offices, the county recorder's offices, and the poll workers across the state for their dedication to the success of our election system. So he signs to certify the state for Joe Biden, while just down the street, poll workers, citizens, IT experts are presenting evidence of fraud. He said, "We do elections well here in Arizona. The system is strong, and that's why I bragged on it so much," he said. What does that mean for the hearings if the governor signed to certify the state of Arizona? Well, it doesn't really mean anything. And this is from AZ Central, so was the last quote that I gave you from the governor. The certification of the election results starts a clock that will run for 5 days, allowing anyone to contest the outcome of the race in court, which is what they're doing. So that doesn't really mean too much. I just find it so odd, especially when he says, "We do elections well here in Arizona. The system is strong, and that's why I bragged on it so much." When right down the street, you're having hearings on election fraud. And at one point in time, while I was watching the live stream, 200,000 people were watching. It feels more like what you're seeing isn't real. And just the other week, this was November 18th from azfamily.com, Governor says he won't accept the election results until all lawsuits are settled. Let's see. Several reports asked him about the debunked conspiracy theories in Arizona, like Sharpie Gate, and if he accepts the election results in Arizona. He made it pretty clear he will not accept the presidential race election results until all of the court filings are resolved and until every vote is counted. On one hand, the governor said we can trust our elections here in Arizona, but minutes later he said there are questions and those questions should be answered. There are legal claims that are being challenged in court. Once those are adjudicated, the process plays out. I will accept the results of the election. Those challenges will play out in the court, and then I will respect the results of the election. I think my favorite take on this matter is from Robert Barnes on Twitter, and he said, "Arizona governor said he would await the results of litigation before certifying, then was like, nah, just kidding. Meet Republican governors, folks." I am in no way a legal expert. I will say the things that I'm hearing just as a citizen who is concerned about election integrity. The things that I'm hearing are quite compelling. Again, my legal expertise are, one time I served jury duty. It was about 10 years ago, and it was for 1 day. So that is the extent of my legal expertise. But again, what I'm hearing I find quite compelling. You might hear the same thing and think that it's not compelling, and that's completely fair. The issue I have is the fact that all of the media is completely ignoring that this is happening, and it's quite hard to even find the live stream of this on the internet. If you want to find it, go on to my Twitter. If you do see this soon and want to watch it, I will repost it there so you can find it and watch it for yourself. And the fact that you have a governor, this is going on in his state, and you and I both know if this was on the other side, every single news outlet would be covering this nonstop, but they're not. And you have this governor who's pushing certification through while this is happening, and these things just make you think even more, what is going on here? Please let me know what you guys think about this. Maybe you have a completely different opinion than I do, and I would love to hear that. Tomorrow is going to be Michigan, and I will say this about Michigan. I have been listening to some of the testimonies of witnesses that are coming out of Michigan. We have poll challengers and poll watchers that are coming out of Michigan. I listened to 5 30-minute testimonies online. These were people that allowed their testimonies to be made public. I don't know if any of these individuals will be there tomorrow, and I don't know if they're working with Trump's legal team or this was a separate lawyer. There's a lot of different lawsuits going on in different states, so I don't know what's going on there, or if they'll be there tomorrow. But I will say the testimonies, if that have come out of Michigan, the ones that I've heard, are some of the most compelling. So I'll be really interested to watch tomorrow and see what goes on with the hearing. Again, what does this all mean? Will it overturn the election? Does it matter? Is it enough? I have no idea. I'm just going to tell you what's happening as it's going, and we'll see how this plays out together. At this point, there is so much going on. You have Sidney Powell with lawsuits. She released them Wednesday evening. She just filed her lawsuits in Georgia. She also filed one in Michigan, and this is all public. She has 200 pages. One is 100 pages long. The other one is 75 pages long, and that's focusing on Dominion. You have Lynn Wood, who is an attorney, and he is filing in Georgia as well, and these are all completely separate from Trump's legal team, and you have separate offices all over that are filing their own thing. So there is a lot going on. That's everything for right now. Thank you for watching. Again, I hope you had a really great holiday, and I'll see you later. Bye.